no doubt that we'd be able to stay here for a long time, and hopefully we still will.
Thank you.
You guys had the ball with, 5.5 minutes left against Missouri and threw a couple passes and then ended up punting. Was it disappointing not to kind of have that 4-minute drive kind of offense where you kind of take some time off the clock?
Well, sure it is. I mean, it's very disappointing we didn't make a first down, but we got to run the ball better. If we ran the ball better, I think we probably would have ran the ball, but we hadn't ran the ball well over the last, maybe quarter. We hadn't ran it real well,
yeah.
So and we had thrown it real well. It just happened to be we didn't throw and catch it. We didn't protect it as well as we should have.
So it's the same thing in overtime. I think the fake field goal might have been the only run play in overtime. Was it the same factor where it just wasn't working in the game?
I don't know. I think we scored 3 out of the 4 touchdowns from the 25. I think we just went with whatever we felt like we could score points.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd have to ask Coach Chaney that.
What was the difference in the run game not working late in the game?
Well, they did a lot of late stemming. They really started timing up our snap count, and they did some late stemming. They were stemming into double eagle all the time, or bear, or whatever you want to call it. And we weren't, we were slipping on some blocks and things of that nature because, in the first half, first 2.5, 3 quarters, we were pretty much dominating them. And then they decided to blitz, and it affected us. We still protected it well, but it affected the run game big time.
How much does the run game keep this offense in tempo, the grinded out yards, it's known for being an explosive offense. You talked about the big scores. How much does that keep Bray and his receivers kind of in tempo and in sync?
I think it's really important. I think it's important this week too. I think, obviously, I think your question alluded to we became one-dimensional, and why. I understand all those things. The reason is because we were still moving the football,
yeah.
And part of the reason is because we weren't moving it well on the ground. Mm-hmm. We have so many explosive guys out wide, the tight ends, the wide receivers, that we feel like we can protect it.
Yeah.
We feel like we can throw the football and get that done. With that said, we don't want to see every blitz known to mankind.
Yeah.
And the only way to get away from that is being able to run the ball when you want to run the ball. That's the whole key of winning football games. And hopefully, obviously we've come back out here and we tried to figure out what went wrong in the fourth quarter running the football, and we're trying to fix it and get ready for Vanderbilt.
Thanks, Coach.
Given how well Alex Bullard has played as a backup guard, backup tight end, do you see that as a way to save a scholarship, have a backup offensive lineman double as a backup tight end in some years?
Well, the main reason, we went with Alex out at tight end this year was because he wasn't in the starters, and we knew that he's athletic enough to handle the edge. So to answer your question, it may enable us to maybe put a scholarship at some other position. However, he's going to be a senior, so it would be just a 1-year deal, but it might help us do that.
What are the drawbacks to having him work part of the time with the tight ends?
None. He's not going to be a deep ball threat ever, but absolutely none. His base blocking there is the same as if he's in at right guard. Just got a little bit more edge out there, that's all. But he's athletic enough that can do it, and he's really done a nice job out there. Yeah. And his attitude's incredible, and he's really accepted his role, and it's a big role, but at times it's a 20-play role instead of the 75, 80-play role that he'd like to have had, and we'd like for him to have it. It's just hadn't worked out that way.
Playing 20 offensive line and 20 tight end?
Well,
or 20 total?
It just depends on the game. Sometimes he'll play 25, 30 snaps total. Sometimes he'll play 12. Just depends on the game and how we match up with their defensive ends.
Does he have the hands, just in case? Does
yes.
He have
yes, he's got outstanding hands. He's the best hands on the team.
Or the best hands on the O-line, maybe?
Yeah, well, we just want to make sure everybody thinks we may throw him a pass. So, and by the way, yes, we have thrown him one in practice.
Did he catch it?
Yes, he did.
In terms of the way that y'all pass protected last week, it seems like by most standards it would be pretty solid, but it just seemed like the guys, to your credit, your guys up front, they weren't pleased with it. They said, the quarterback got hit a couple more times than we wanted to.
Yeah.
And is that just kind of a sign of how much talent and maturity kind of there is up there when there's a game like that would be okay, they're not okay with it?
I think it's a sign of expectations, what the expectations are on the team, in the room, and all those things. And I've had squads before that give up one sack and the quarterback gets hit 3 or 4 times. And you're going, man, we threw it 54 times, and so you're going, man, that's the greatest protection in America. Here, we give up a sack, we get the quarterback hit, it's not acceptable. And they know that. And so, yeah, it's kind of, but it's a standard you set. And with these kids, it's as high as you're going to get.
With Antonio playing through the kind of the knee things like he has, is it usually that's something that sometimes guys got to get older before they learn how to deal with those kind of things? And we're talking several weeks now with him and the knee, and he just seems to soldier through it kind of every week. Is that pretty rare for a young guy his age?
Well, I think a lot of it is the injuries. There's really not a whole lot there. He's sore, but I think it has something to do with who you're around. He's around all these older guys that have been through. There's a difference between pain and injury, and I think Tiny just got some pain. But these older guys kind of, hey, I had this is worse than what you have, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, he's starting to go, oh, well, I'm not hurt at all, compared to all your stories. So I think it has a lot to do with who you're around and how the guys around your group accept injury, and we don't. We got guys that want to go play. So he's done a good job with that.
Thank you, Coach.